YouTube, what is up? Welcome back to the Radar for Wrestling Studios.
What up, Mox?
Guys, Friday Night Smackdown just finished up. We have one takeaway to get into. It's an interesting show because it's similar to Monday Night Raw with the Elimination Chamber. Now we got official word that it's going to be a Raw title Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship that we got on Monday, and then we're getting a Universal one as well. But there's a little bit of a twist to it because, again, the Tribal Chief runs the show. He runs WWE, so he gets to do whatever the hell he wants to do. So we're going to get into that and a couple other things on the show. It wasn't the best episode of SmackDown. It was just more continuation going into Chamber. We're going to get a lot of build up just for Chamber, guys going back and forth, similar to how Raw does it, but the only thing different is that it has Roman Reigns on the show, so we could always look forward to that. So let's get right into it. One takeaway from Friday Night SmackDown. Before we do, I got to remind you guys, drop a like and a comment on this video. Appreciate you guys commenting on the videos and letting us know what you guys think of the current product, what's going on each show. We love building the community and we want to continue to grow it. So please do continue to comment and like on the videos. Let us know what you guys think of everything, and we're excited to hear from you guys. Subscribe if you're watching. Subscribe to the channel notification because when the new videos drop. And without further ado, let's get right into it. The one takeaway from Friday Night SmackDown. But SmackDown started off with Adam Pearce in the ring and your Tribal Chief coming down along with Jey Uso and Paul Heyman, who come in the ring and talk about Edge. Now, he said Edge is afraid. Edge didn't want it from what happened with last week. Edge hasn't made his decision yet. He's going to wait till after the Chamber to make his decision. Adam Pearce is making a decision saying that he will have to defend his Universal Championship inside the Elimination Chamber, and there'll be a series of qualifying matches to get in. But Heyman said it's not happening. He's gonna defend it, but he won't do it inside the chamber. So it seems like what we're getting is that 6 guys will compete, and whoever wins that, most likely this will open the show, and then after like the main event, most likely will be the winner of that match against Roman Reigns. So that should be kind of interesting how that's gonna work out. So we're gonna have a series of qualifying matches. Some of them are tag team matches, and if the tag team wins, both members of the tag team get into the chamber match. Yeah. I did like the way Roman got into Pierce's face afterwards, after he announced that, you know, Kevin Owens was already qualified. Like him and Jey Uso do not have to qualify to get in. So he said that about Kevin Owens. He got into his face immediately. I thought that was good. It was a good sense of urgency and upset, thing from Roman Reigns to do.
Yeah, I'm a little tired of Roman just beating up on Adam Pearce. We've seen a lot. It's been on this. It's kind of getting just a little over it. We had a whole feud last month of him and Pearce. I don't think we really needed it. Yeah. Roman. It still wouldn't take because Roman was there. Paul Heyman did a great job with his whole interview. Roman was good too. But yeah, a little convoluted going into Elimination Chamber. I didn't really understand exactly what we're doing. I guess we'll figure that out more as a couple weeks go by.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of Adam Pearce right now. He's just on the show all the time.
Yeah, both shows too. It's a lot of Pearce all the time. It's just too much.
It's way too much Adam Pearce. Hopefully they kind of cut back on it after the Chamber.
Yeah.
Next thing on the show was the first set of tag team qualifying. So like again, if the tag team wins, both members qualify for Elimination Chamber. It was the team of King Corbin and Sami Zayn going against Rey and Dominik Mysterio. This was a pretty quick match. You saw King Corbin and Sami Zayn get the win and qualify, which makes sense. I didn't think Rey and Dominik were going to get in anyways. It would be kind of interesting to have Dominik or Rey get a shot at the championship like that. It'd be kind of nuts if they did it, but they didn't go with it. They went with the obvious choice of Zayn and Corbin. So Zayn and Corbin are the first guys to qualify in terms of the Chamber. Next thing on the show, I think it was one of the better things on the show. It was Big E coming out and cutting a promo, and he cut a solid promo, but then he's interrupted. He's gonna do an open challenge. He gets interrupted by Apollo Crews, and they have a face-to-face that I thought was really, really well done, because they weren't they standed close to each other, but the mics weren't in their faces, so you could hear it, but it wasn't super loud. So I think it gave it more effect because you're kind of listening to see what they were saying, and I think it really drew you in a little bit more. The fact that they did it that way, and the trash talk between the two was well done. It seemed real. It came off real. It came off serious, and it was really well done. But in the end, it ended up being Big E versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke guy was getting a push recently, but now it's kind of cooled down just a bit.
Yeah, it's dwindling a bit. It sucks.
Yeah, Cesaro's kind of taking over on that department. But yeah, ended up being Big E versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and it was a decent little match. Nothing great,
It's quick.
Yeah, and then you had Apollo Crews, hit a drop kick on Big E and kind of disqualification. So we'll see this feud play out probably at the Chamber, most likely a match between the two.
I'm excited to see Apollo Crews as a heel. Hopefully he can step up and be a good heel, especially for Big E, because this is an important feud going into it, because Big E's first legit feud as IC champion. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Apollo can come through and finally get his some time to shine.
Yeah, it'll be pretty awesome. I like the new look for Apollo, the new demeanor. It's it's coming off pretty well. If you can just if you can play it really seriously, I think it works out better. All right, let's get to the number one takeaway of the night, and it was this man behind us, the return of Seth Rollins. He came out in an all leather suit with a leather tie and a leather dress shirt. One of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, so he comes out, but the entire roster is around the ring for his promo. I don't know what that was about, right? So and then he brings up the fact that it's the first time you've seen him since he sacrificed himself at the Survivor Series, which was pointless for him to do anyway, because I don't understand the point of it, reasoning behind it. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird because it's like he seems like he's coming out as a babyface. He talks about him becoming a father and stuff like that. Changed the way him in ways he didn't expect, and then in the end, he goes straight back to the heel, and everybody leaves from ringside as he's talking, except Cesaro's the last guy, and he thinks Cesaro's kind of in on it, like he's with him, but Cesaro leaves as well. He attacks Cesaro, beats him up, hurts Cesaro's knee, and then Daniel Bryan comes out to help Cesaro because again, Daniel Bryan and Cesaro are in a tag team match to see who qualifies for the Chamber. So the return of Seth Rollins, I don't know really where he's going, but the stuff he was saying, the way he was talking, it's similar to Roman Reigns' shtick in terms of him running the show, him being the leader. So I kind of feel like it's inevitable that these two guys are going to face each other at WrestleMania unless if they don't bring in Brock Lesnar or Edge. If Edge doesn't pick or Brock Lesnar show up, I think Seth Rollins is the guy, because how can you have two guys on the same show claiming to kind of be the same thing? I think it's going to cause issues in the end.
Yeah, this whole thing was kind of weird. Again, he comes to that baby face, and then everybody leaves. I don't know if we're supposed to really feel anything when the guys leave, because I've never seen that before anyway. Like it made no sense that they were out there to begin with, so it didn't make any sense for me. But yeah, I agree with you. I think he's coming back as the Messiah. He's a savior. He's a leader of the roster, and Roman's like the top dog, and that's gonna be like a weird conflict between those two going forward.
Yep.
So I think it definitely makes sense. I don't know if WrestleMania is the time. It could be. It might be. I don't know. We'll see how Elimination Chamber goes and who Edge goes with. But it'd be interesting. You can definitely play that off. But yeah, he's the Messiah. He's still the Messiah. He hasn't changed. Fatherhood has not changed him at all. He's just going to be a dick. So yeah, whatever. So we'll see him go, going forward. It makes sense for him and Roman to go at it because they're both fighting for the same thing, the top dog on SmackDown. Or in the company, really.
Exactly. It's the same exact thing. It didn't have much of the impact either. Everybody walked away because there was no point of them really having them there to begin with.
Why are they out there? First, it's like, is he retiring? Like, what is what's the point of this? It doesn't make any sense.
It made no sense. But let's get to the next thing on the show. That's the one takeaway from the show. Next thing on the show is Bayley versus Liv Morgan. Bayley continues to go against the Riot Squad, and Billie Kay continues to ruin it for the Riot Squad, and Bayley keeps picking up wins against them. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I can see Bayley. I think Bayley and Billie Kay together might be pretty funny and entertaining. You could have a tag team right there. I think it might be pretty cool. Obviously Bayley carries the work in the ring, but was what it was. Bayley gets the win, and that's pretty much all there is to that.
And shout out to Liv Morgan for taking herself out completely with the railings. Like, she just annihilated herself.
Yeah,
good job.
She took that one like
really good.
She took that one like a champ. Yeah,
it was good.
Next thing on the show was the Street Profits taking on the Alpha Academy, Otis and Chad Gable. That's pretty much it. Nothing special. It was a pretty decent match. Two tag teams going at it. Not with a lot of momentum behind them. We all know Chamber probably Street Profits versus Roode and Ziggler, most likely, and that'll probably be the feud going into Mania or maybe a multi-team Mania match. Street Profits get the win. Not much to say about any of this stuff going on here.
Too many tag team matches that meant more going in, like just on the entire show. This kind of just fell by the wayside.
Yeah, big time. We had interesting thing backstage. We had the returning Kalisto. We saw him there in backstage very quickly with Sasha Banks as Reginald showed up with a glass of champagne to give her, and it seemed like they were kind of friendly. But then at the end, you had Reginald give a shit-eating grin in the background. So he's probably planning something.
Yeah.
Then you had a promo from Sasha Banks in the ring. She would get interrupted by Bianca Belair, and it's two babyfaces going at each other here. So it looks like this is going to be the Mania match, right? It hasn't been official, but it looks like it's going to be the Mania match. So it's going to be interesting how they work the two babyfaces because they're kind of complimenting each other, but then taking shots at each other, but not big shots at each other. Then they get interrupted, interestingly enough, by Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. And it was weird, right? So I think all signs because of this happening is that they're going to have a tag team title match at Elimination Chamber, because it seems like the title's gonna be on the line, the women's championship be on the line. So I think they'll have a title match there, Sasha and Bianca versus them two.
Very random. Didn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they would be put into a tag team match. Just like them showing from Raw. It's kind of dumb. I didn't really enjoy that at all.
Well, I think the whole point of it is just to capitalize on the viral meme of Nia Jax from Monday with the My Whole thing, talking about her, her butthole. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So that's just I think that's the whole play on this was just to play off that because they hit the clip and all that and they started brawling. I think that's all there is to it. They just want to strike on this because it's viral and it went around the internet a lot. So you know,
I guess we'll see how long it'll last. I mean, things nowadays last a couple days, so whatever, we'll see.
All right, exactly. Yeah. Next thing on the match was the main event. On the show's main event, it's the Dirty Dogs. You have I hate the name, but it's Roode and Ziggler, the tag team champs, going on against Cearo and Daniel Bryan. Winners get into the chamber. In the end, the winners were Daniel Bryan and Cearo. Cearo making Ziggler tap out to the sharpshooter. They continue to have him get wins and wins and wins and wins and wins. So
they're pushing him, man. They're pushing him. He's getting the rocket strap, so I'm enjoying that stuff. It's well deserved.
It is well deserved, but I don't think it's gonna. I'm skeptical to think that it's gonna lead to like a championship match eventually. I am extremely skeptical, just with the way the WWE works. But the big thing about this is after the match, you have everybody coming to the ring that's qualified for the Elimination Chamber fighting each other, and then you have KO coming down to the ring and similar to like. They're trying to play it off like how Austin would in 98 when he comes on Stunners like everybody in the world. And this is going to be the highlight of the night. So we're going to cut to that clip right now, the highlight of the night. All right, so you saw the highlight of the night, guys. It was KO stunnering everybody he sees. Later on, he just sat in the ring and stared at the camera, knowing that Roman was watching. So a shout out to calling out Roman basically like that. But I thought it was a good look for him to do that.
Hell yeah.
It was fun. It was cool. Those cool endings are something you don't see as much. You kind of see it happen, but it just doesn't have the same effect when they do it for the rumbles and stuff like that. They always have everybody in the ring, flopping around and stuff like that. But I thought this came off pretty well for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it reminded me of Austin doing it against the corporation where they like just Briscoe, Patterson, Vince, Shane, everybody, Big Boss, whatever, whoever was there. I thought it was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it. They did a great job with Kevin Owens. Like I said a couple weeks ago, him and Aleister Black, and he was on Raw, and he had the KO show. That's all he was doing. And since he's been on SmackDown, he's been on fire. He's been believable. They put him up a great match against Roman. He's the number 2 guy on SmackDown right now, just over a couple of months of being on SmackDown. So it's impressive how when they're motivated to book someone correctly, they can really do it. And I wish they would do it with more guys, but also Kevin Owens is really good, and he just is naturally talented, and it just comes off so well. And I'm liking it. This little pseudo KO, but Austin mixed in. I'm digging it. I like it. I'm excited for it, and I wouldn't mind. We'll see what the Elimination Chamber goes. What happens at the Elimination Chamber? But him and Roman at WrestleMania, why not? I mean, honestly, why not?
Why not? They've had a string of good matches. They've had a few matches in a row. That's the only problem. But they've had a string of good matches. It's gonna have to be a gimmick match, stipulation match. Obviously, can't just have a regular match, especially after their Royal Rumble match. So, but that's where the show ended. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. That's our one takeaway from SmackDown, a review of SmackDown. Halfway, it was a decent episode, but a notch down from the recent episodes in terms of like pushing storylines ahead. But Elimination Chamber build up is just. It's going to be shoved down our throat for the next couple weeks until the chamber happens. It's going to be like guys fighting each other that are just alternating each other. It's lazy booking from WWE. We're going to get it. Be prepared for it. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe. Drop a comment section below in the comment section below what you guys think of SmackDown, the show. Who do you think is going to win the chamber? And how do you think it's going to play out with Roman after the chamber match? But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Remember for this work, but not to the job.
Later, Marks.